And that's what I thought I'd start with here, is that small daily habits, those things that need to be done that people don't really want to be doing and talking about, particularly on social media, but these things, you know, they need to be done to sort of get ahead. Yes, you're not making any money by taking carpets to a tip, but what we do is we sort of synthesize and integrate business meetings, strategizing and working on the business while we do little tasks like this. So we'll talk about investors and some of the deals we've got going on, what needs to happen to make it as smooth as possible, as smooth as it can be, with all the related, you know, bureaucratic nonsense that often comes along with all of this type of stuff. But so yeah, we use these tasks which usually would get outsourced, and we do outsource most, but tasks like this can be very useful when you merge business meetings into the trip. And this is sort of what I'm doing here with these videos, is I'm just driving around making the videos and getting people to, you know, follow along with the journey, if you like. You may as well make these things productive. So that's what we're doing here. So I'm just picking French up now. We're gonna empty the carpets down the tip. It's good to have big visions and big goals in life, but you can't skip over the small daily things that you need to be doing. I mean, I remember when I, you know, first started out in this game, it was all like, you know, I'm going to make X amount of money and all this type of stuff, but nobody really tells you the dirty, average paperwork, cleaning out properties and putting in thousands of hours of networking and all that. Nobody talks about that because it doesn't sell a dream. It doesn't sell courses or mentorship programs or anything like that. But that's the real stuff. Like if you look at the average so-called successful person, however you define that, they've been doing the average stuff very, very well for a prolonged period of time. And that's all it is. So overnight successes aren't overnight successes. Overnight successes usually take around a decade at least to become the overnight success. The culture that we live in, the get it now, get it rich quick and all that type of stuff, that culture, it's done more harm than it has good. I mean, doing the stuff that needs to be done, which isn't sexy, and continually doing that, that's the foundation and the basis of what magic builds on. So when you hit that exponential curve isn't built on a shaky foundation. It's built on stuff that anybody could do over and over and over and over again. Yes, there's outliers to this rule. So, I mean, there's a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, and he talked about how Bill Gates was the first guy, I think, at a university to get a computer, wherever he was at whatever university he was at. And if it was a year before or a year later, that wouldn't have been the case. So yes, there are luck and factors involved in this type of stuff, but you have to put yourself, be prepared. So when those opportunities arrive, you can grasp them, take advantage of them. Right, so say that again. 450 quid for what?
Health impact assessment. Well, no, it's not. It's not a health impact assessment. It's basically to help you, to aid you with the council. They look through your developments, your proposal, your plans,
Yeah.
and they basically back your corner to say that you don't need one. That's what that service and fee
So
is.
you're paying 450 quid and you're still ain't sure, really, I mean.
No, so like I say, if you can get it across the line, you're paying 450 quid to not need the full assessment.
And if you need
Obviously, if you need a full assessment, then fuck knows how much that's going to be. And these things are qualified by the type of development proposal you're doing. So ours qualifies because it's classed as a major development because it's 10 or more dwellings and it's got some commercial aspect to it as well. That's why we qualify on that.
Money for old rope. What do they actually show you on these?
You want to actually see, if you read it, it's an absolute fucking mess.
Is it political correctness type stuff, or? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's the fact that that's merging into now becoming the responsibility of the developer. The developer's just there to take a fucking disused building, which is rotting away, and basically helping their lack of stock for people to move into, their lack of properties for people to move into. So you've got a developer coming in, going, we want to spend money in your town, we want to create economy, we want to develop this building, turn it into something usable. And all you want to do is put barriers up in the way.
I do understand.
It's closely linked to the green stuff again though as well, which is frustrating because...
That's when I asked about the political correctness stuff, that's what I'm talking about.
Obviously, everyone has to be seen to be doing the right thing and saying the right thing with all of that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, whatever. But there still has to be a line somewhere. I mean, ultimately, it'll be down to the planner's decision regardless of all of this. And I had a good meeting with her last week anyway, and you know, she didn't say, she ain't going to tell me that, she ain't going to go, yeah, this proposal's going to be approved. But
you got the gist.
She was positive about it. The conservation guy was positive about it, albeit he took some photos of some stuff which definitely isn't original to the building, which is, I reckon, we're gonna have as a condition of our approval that certain elements of these things that he took photos of need to stay. Which ain't original, like I say. So, yeah, I spoke to him. Fucking rubbish. I mean, it did sound too good to be true.
You're a ball of positivity today.
That's just frustrating, isn't it? Just like market stuff properly. He said to me on the phone, he said, I've had a few people ask these sorts of questions.
Maybe we should put it on the marketing.
Probably wrong then, mate, isn't it, really? People are telling you.
Yeah.
You nutter.
Yeah, the more I look into these grade 2 listed, I know them a ball ache. I know they cost more than the average property to convert, but so there's a level of pride in the ownership of it, man.
Yeah. And it's stuff you want to own as well, isn't it? It's properties you want to own.
A thing of beauty.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as you tick all the right boxes and you're doing things the right way in terms of your developments, then surely these councils want people like us doing that. This is a fucking massive place, 38,000 square feet. That's the whole plot.
Have you seen that one in Wednesbury? Similar size? Massive.
Did you send it me?
I don't know if I did.
I can't remember.
It's saved on my account now, but I don't know. It's absolutely huge, man. I'm surprised it hasn't been snapped up though, so I'm wondering why. What's happening there? Whether there's a covenant on it or something.
Boise rang me this morning.
You're
sorry.
joking.
Voice note, rather.
What's he say? Shawnee boy.
Obviously, I put that post out on the Prosperity Network, didn't I? Saying we could do some deals and that, and we got 3 investors at least that are wanting to do business. So it was a couple of voice notes about that.
Yeah,
buying stuff cheap.
Yeah, dirt cheap. A square foot, sometimes less than half price.
Exactly. And we all know that there's a complete lack of housing everywhere. So those houses are coming on the market and being sold to buyers of people that are going to actually live in them, which is dropping the supply of rented properties anyway. It's like a concoction of
you've got
problems, isn't it?
Yeah, a complete cauldron of problem.
Yeah.
But then,
which is then exacerbated by fucking everything that we were just discussing, which is bureaucratic nonsense when you're trying to get anything through planning. It's slow. So, you know, you've got people trying to solve, you know, a massive problem here, and you seemingly are doing everything in your power to make that more difficult. Why? Crazy.
Just the mindset, though, mate. To be honest.
Well, when we had the acknowledgement that our application had been accepted, on that email, they said we hope to have a decision to you on or before the 15th of February.
That'd be good if we could get that through. Flipping heck.
But we've got
That'd be quick.
We've got a week's worth of, or just under a week's worth of potential consultee comments coming through now. So the cut-off for all of them is the 22nd, which was a week yesterday. And there's probably 10 parts of the council that haven't yet commented. We had an objection from the public.
It was him, the same. Too many rooms, too many HMOs.
No, they didn't actually comment on the scheme itself. They commented on a lack of parking.
Lack of parking?
Stone throw away from the retail park. That made me laugh. And I think they give it the climate change shout as well.
Saying what?
What emissions, not emissions, what do they say? Pollution to the local environment, local area, additional pollution.
Obviously not by the cars if there's no parking.
Honestly,
it's just irrational, isn't it? That won't stand much weight, to be fair.
No, well.
When I had planning turned down on the one building in Dudley, bloody plebes in the newspaper, the police were writing reports and all sorts. So we don't even try then. There's no point, is there? What's the point then?
Yeah. Any public backlash with momentum, you're going to struggle to get planning.
Unless you like
imagine
Donald Trump, who just thrives off anything that comes his way.
Yeah.
Are they still renting upstairs?
Well, he said it. He mentioned this because apparently spent 70 or 80 grand, and he went, "All they've done is would he paint it grey or whatever he said." But they've Airbnb'd the rest of it upstairs, so obviously that's where the money's gone.
Airbnb. Airbnb that.
Well,
good luck to him.
You speak to some people, it seems to work in most places, doesn't it? If you pitch it the right price.
Serviced accommodation. You could sell a course in that, you could, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Theory.com.
Yeah, never actually done one, but
like 90% of the people who teach out there.
Here's your serviced accommodation business.
Business in a box.
Yeah. What a mess.
Vicar Street. We can do that, you know.
Yeah. Be nice, that.
He wants to come up next week, I think. I saw a Doolittle email or message earlier saying about a viewing next week. Back at Church Street again next week.
No, it's this week. Thursday, that's what I'm saying.
18th. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So, going to meet the roofer, first thing.
Yep.
Then going over to Telford to meet a client, hopefully. Prospective client, with their build that they're doing for Serco. Or with Serco. And then back over to Kidderminster. Back over to Kidderminster for Church Street, yeah. He needs another couple of hours in there. Mazza. Before he goes back to Poland.
Right. Is he doing the drawings or what? He said the end of the month.
Yeah, that's why he needs to go back. An hour wasn't long enough.
Yeah, okay. Go get the money together for that.
For Church Street?
Yeah.
What about, have you been in touch with Salmo about that one?
Yeah, he sent me an email yesterday, 65% loan to value on it. As acquisition, and then they'll sort of go on to a different product.
Well, I think we've got some options there. I think, well, Vito was quite intrigued by it. So I don't think that'll be a problem. If one doesn't want it, I think there'll be another one that does.
Yeah. A bit of new lotion. area down here. Oh my god. Finished? Good. Did it take long, did it? Okay, this is how it works. I found the guy, he wanted to sell the property, right? But his mortgage was too much. He couldn't sell it for more than the mortgage balance. Mortgage balance was around 92,000. So I turned around to him and I said, would you sell the property for what you owe in it? Now, in my opinion, that property was worth around...
That tells you quite a lot.
Steve, we were going to buy this in an SPV, weren't we? This new property.
Separate companies, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, if you can keep it in one, make it easy for you.
Yeah,
but your choice, mate, on that, really.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Would it be better to just get a commercial loan on that other property, the one in Market Drayton?
If we've got time, yeah. I mean, just take twice as long with a commercial one.
Yeah.
Most banks take twice as long.
Yeah.
But it just depends how quickly you've got to go. If you can secure the money elsewhere and wait for the commercial monies, or if you can wait just generally for Kidderminster, then yeah, why not?
Because we might be able to bring in the capital from elsewhere, you see. So if we bring in investors' money to acquire Church Street,
yeah,
and then start the process of remortgaging Great Hale Street.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're not having to pay double bubble, are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. It'll save us a load of fees and that way.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Right,
Yeah.
Can we move forward on that basis then?
Yeah, who's going to be party to it?
The acquiring Church Street.
Yeah, who's
It'll be me, Frenchie, and there'll probably be one other. But can I get back to you tomorrow on that with the directorship?
Yeah, let me know tomorrow. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
And then,
all right, mate.
What I'll do then is I'll get Alex need the following. I'll get me their information, their email.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it from there, mate.
Yes, and last one, Great Hale Street, Market Drayton.
Yeah.
Could we? It's a low value, and we bought that at 130.
Yeah.
Our person think it's worth more than that. It's got 17,000 running through the books.
Yeah.
What value do you reckon we should go in at, and what loan to value do you think we'll get out of it?
If you bought it within 12 months,
Yeah.
they'll ask for the TR1.
Right.
And they probably will say, they'll say, have you done anything to it? You know, the new leases. If it was almost like empty when you bought it,
Yeah.
then you could go, you might get a bit more, but not much.
Okay.
I mean, they can, if the particulars are online,
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
that
yeah.
there. That's the only pretty problem you got.
What about if we were to buy another property in the same company?
Yeah.
And went for a commercial mortgage over the two?
Yeah.
Could we do that?
Yeah, you can do that, yeah, of course.
Because there's no debt on it at all. So if we just went, I've had one come through this morning, 300 grand. It's got about 31 running through it. It's a bank, strong covenant with the bank. I'd like to buy that.
You get, I mean, assume 70%. I mean, I'll go with them all, but assume 70% is what you're going to get on.
Okay.
I mean, I know values are bloody like at the minute. I mean, probably come out at 130 on Great Hale Street.
Yeah.
And then whatever you pay for it.
Mate, it's a Lloyd's bank. I mean, flipping heck.
Is it?
They can't down value a Lloyd's bank covenant, can they?
No, they'll value it at what you're paying for it, but
Right.
how many years are left on the lease with Lloyd's?
It's brand new from July 23, 10 years I think. I'll confirm, but it's brand new from 23, yeah.
That's good return, that is then.
It's how bad at all, is it? And it's fairly local as well.
Yeah, bloody fair play. Yeah, I mean, get a copy of the lease, see if there's a break clause in it, all that malarkey.
Okay.
So,
How are you finding the market?
got enough inquiries coming in.
Have you?
Rates are coming down a bit, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
commercial. Well, the starting to come down a bit.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year fixed rate.
Yeah.
So it's all right, to be honest. I mean, it's
Okay.
all right, it's enough.
Said, would you sell the property for what you owe in it? Now, in my opinion, that property was worth around 90,000. So if I turn around to him and say, will you sell it for what you owe on it? And that's that figure, he'd be an idiot to say no. He's a really nice chap. And when I said that to him, he literally threw the keys at me. So I've essentially took that property on at £92,000. I ended up paying around £400 a month for the term of 27 years. And the way you do that, you put £1 down on exchange of contracts. You pay the solicitors around about £1,000, a bit more nowadays, but at the time it was about £1,000. We spent a couple of grand on the refurbishment. and we rented the property out for around £600 a month. So there was a £200 profit per month. Obviously this is gross. And then we sold the property for about £110,000 in around 5 years after the original contract date, which was for that. We paid off £5,000 off the mortgage, so we had to £87,000 left to pay, and we sold it for £110,000, leaving a profit of £23,000 plus your rental income.